Hey everyone, welcome to our channel, The Masters of Dungeons. I am DM Logan, and this will be session number 5 of Tyranny of Dragons. So, we'll have everyone introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Molly, and today I am playing Noah Lockhart, a half-elven rogue who has newfound anger issues. Kind of.
Please just keep adding some awkward statement to your character every 2 seconds, please.
Comma, comma, comma.
Dot, dot, dot. I guess I'll go next. Hey guys. Wesley here. I'm playing Tristana Zahara, Fire Sorceress.
I'm Ryan. I'm playing Auburn, Son of the Sun, Paladin of Polor. Polor.
All right. Thank you for that, guys. And with that, let's get started. So, we peer into the ongoings of things elsewhere. The thud of boots approach a large oaken door. With a loud barge, they swing wide, revealing a half-orc warrioress in royal purple, her halberd glistening in the plentiful candlelight. "Lord Davin," she says curtly, kneeling out of obligation alone. Asbara and the Red Wizards grow impatient with your attempts to capture or sway the flame of the East. The elf, facing away from her, fingers a ring. Black as the abyss, the coiled dragon slides smoothly onto his finger. The emeralds, resembling eyes, pulsate as he equips the item. "Mondath, your intrusion pains me," he says as a swirling smoke dissipates from the potion in front of him. Asbara must simply be patient. The seeds have been planted. She makes her way here as we speak. He pauses, then turns to face the half-orc. His eyes flash with the intensity of the emeralds. "Have Asbara prepare for me the ritual," he grins wickedly. "Then ready yourselves for a bountiful harvest." So, we return to our merry band, and Noah is jogging back to the others of our party to tell them about what he has seen for some stragglers that were up ahead.
All right, and in the clearing where everyone else is waiting, seemingly out of nowhere, Noah just appears, jumps down from the top of the tree lining. I'm near, say it. Let's assume that Tristana and Auburn are pretty close together. He jumps, he land kind of in between them. So, all right, so head count 8. Well, 2 counting. There's these strange figures that I couldn't see, but 4 dragon cultists are there. They're kind of screwing around, drinking their asses off, and mercenaries are just kind of hanging around. And they look like they're plenty distracted. And pretty grouped up. Definitely said drinking.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, what?
Drinking their asses off.
Oh my god, that totally did not sound like drinking. All right. And that was in character. Okay. Well, there's some loot, like from the actual like raid there as well, right? Like people's belongings and stuff. Or no, that was made up. I forgot.
So, yeah, there were kind of arms, munitions, weapons. Seems like they're kind of just sat down next to the rocks, and loot bags that were kind of just thrown aside.
Okay. So she looks to her two party members, kind of like she's eyeing like a nice ribeye, like she's about to eat it. Right? So, how about re-roast these guys alive? I always can just fling a fireball and get the big mass right there, kind of maximal effect. You guys do.
Auburn just nods to you. He doesn't want to speak too loudly.
Yeah, I'm at that. I'm glad you caught on. That's what I was getting at when I said they're all grouped up. Yeah. Although I will say,
you going?
Let's try to get the cultists first. Who knows? Maybe the mercenaries stand down once they realize, they don't stand a chance. But one thing that I might want to do, and they may be gone by the time we get back, is I'd kind of like to sneak around a little bit, see what those other two figures that I saw were kind of up to, see if they come in after the initial surprise.
So you want me
firestorm,
to lay a distraction, and so that you can lay a trap for the two that are kind of obscured?
Oh yeah, if you want to put
That
it that way.
you are going to deal with these guys first, and then I shoot my fireball or my assortment of spells.
Yeah. So Noah just kind of shrugs. I didn't really know what they were doing. I just kind of wanted to see how they would react to their friends, or maybe not friends, getting roasted alive.
Okie doke.
Just depending.
All right. Let's set it up then.
Let's do it.
So
All right.
these are, think of this as kind of like a rocky outcropping where they have, there's the single plume of smoke coming from inside, some rocks jutting up over each other, so they're kind of in the shade underneath them.
All right.
All right. So, well, I don't know if you want to sneak up behind him first, or if you want me to fireball first and then you were sneaking, or whatever. So
yeah,
I'll let you go.
That's actually what to say. When we kind of go off, does Lenin start to follow us?
So Lenin, as y'all kind of move away from your horses, she kind of looks at the horse, looks at y'all, and I think I'm gonna stay here, watch the horses if that's all right.
Noah would look back. I'm you sure? I had this whole spiel planned if you did try to follow us about you having to stay back and watch the horses and how important it was that you do so. But if you're already doing that.
No, I'm good.
But Noah, what if somebody comes behind, and like, should we not? Nah, she'll be fine. You can fend for yourself, right?
And this kind of like realization, like somebody's watching her from behind.
Maybe you should hide in the bushes, just to be safe.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
She kind of like crouches over there by the bushes.
I can still see you, but it's good enough.
Do you have a weapon on you at all? like a dagger or anything?
She kind of looks down at her, waist.
So Noah would, all right, and he would get probably from his belt one of like probably 4 daggers that he has, and he would kind of flick it in his
This is
hand, hold
Belinda.
it by the blade, and holding it or putting it towards her kind of like hilt first.
So she kind of stares at it for 4 or 5 seconds, a little unsure, and then slowly grabs it from you, her eyes not leaving the blade.
Yeah, it's just in case. I don't think anything will happen, but better you have that than nothing at all.
I'll keep it for emergencies only. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just remember to stab them with the pointy end. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to cast my spell.
Yeah.
Are you,
All right.
Carthron? / Noah?
Yeah.
/ whoever you are?
So,
Was it me first?
hey, Auburn, how do you feel about jumping in right after the fireball?
I can do that.
All right, sounds good. I'll be going around. Try and go to the position where I think I saw them beforehand, and just kind of wait there, see how they react, and if nothing happens, I can just come in and do what I do, and then let's roll it. All right, so I got an 8. I got an 18 stealth.
Okay, let's see. All right.
So Noah would just kind of disappear into the bushes or something from y'all.
Balls in y'all's court.
Trying to get into position.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, are you like getting up like right up on them, or are you getting like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there like a signal you're gonna give me when you're ready, or I just fling it now and just you'll jump in whenever?
Noah would have just said, "Just give me 2 minutes."
Okay.
And he kind of went off. But
And before Noah leaves, I'm going to cast Bless on all 3 of us.
Ooh. How do you do so?
With my words, I bless you.
Without
How do you do so?
you all, I hope this goes well. And my symbol on my chest kind of, I guess it's not on my armor anymore. It's now hanging from a necklace instead of inside my armor. The symbol starts to glow, and you feel a little warmer.
Don't forget to use it.
What does Bless do again?
Does Bless add the skill checks, or is it just attack rolls?
Attack rolls and saving throws.
All right.
And so if we don't use attack rolls, does that like I don't know, does that, you know what I mean? Does that do anything for like spell casting at all? I don't think it does, right?
We'll figure it out.
I mean, if you're casting like Firebolt or Scorching Ray, like things that have a spell attack roll, then.
Okay, I got you. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Maybe an extra D4 of damage.
Okay, so after 2 minutes has passed, Tristana, I guess wherever we're coming from, is there like a place like of cover? Like, so basically she's the one to like be out in the
imagine
open.
this. It's mostly plains, but in this one section there are a couple trees surrounding this rocky outcropping. Think of it as like it's not a desert, but like kind of small little oasis. It's not beautiful like that, but kind of the idea.
Yeah, okay, so this is kind of how I see. So like she's like has her like her back up against the tree, and she like looks to Operon, who's I'm guessing is pretty close, and she kind of like nods. And in her hand, she kind of starts to like from like a compressed thing. She starts to kind of elongate this, little bead of fire that's growing and growing and growing and growing, and then she kind of compresses it back down. You see the little Arabic little fiery script kind of like going along with it, and you see the orange kind of like coals being like blown on. It kind of like shine in her eyes, and then when she compresses it down, you kind of feel this kind of like release of heat in the air, and it gets visibly kind of imagine like a ripple, right? But heat kind of like radiating out. It's like it hits you and then it's gone. You don't really know where it came from. And then she kind of looks out, and then she just kind of flings it like a tiny little, like a pea, into the fire. And then by the time anyone notices like what happened, it erupts in a ball of fire, causing
Beautiful.
6, 8, 11, 14. Shoot. 15. 20 to 25 points of fire searing damage. So that would be shoot, what's my DC? I think it's a DC 14.
Add an extra
so.
D4 on top of that, if you would.
29 points of
29
fire scorching damage.
Points.
And then that would be what, like 14 if you succeeded your DC.
Right.
Do you have a 16 or an 18?
15, I think. So I have a plus.
What's
It's a 15 if you have an 18 charisma.
Yeah, okay, that's 15. 15.
15.
It's been a while.
All right. So this is not an unfamiliar sight from the treasury room. The magnification of the fire in front that they were surrounded by, joking, tearing away the flesh of this chicken that they were roasting. 2 of the cultists completely disintegrate. Their skeleton lies blown back against the rocks. One of them loses his leg, flying against the backdrop, and falls over on fire. And the 4th cultist, blown back, is quickly trying to pat out the fire that is on him. There is chaos immediately.
But more importantly, how is the chicken?
Yeah.
If only Noki were here.
As long as it's not stew, you're messing up.
So you want us to roll initiative now, or?
So you said you waited a few minutes and y'all kind of had something planned. When this fireball goes off, does anyone do anything?
I'd walk out into the clearing.
Okay. So the clearing is close to where the mercenaries are.
I'm just gonna walk out and stand there for a second. I'm not gonna do anything yet.
All right. Okay. Noah.
Yeah, and so what I was doing, Logan, is that Noah was trying to get back in that position where he saw the other 2 previous. I don't know if you want me to roll another perception or if they're even there anymore, but he would try and find them again. That was like the minute or 2 prior.
They're there.
They're there?
They are there.
All right. Do I have a better look at them now, or are they still obscured?
Yeah, so you spent those couple minutes being able to really kind of get in there and see. And so these guys just looked much more sturdy, heavier armed. These guys actually have armbands, and on them is a symbol that I'm not sure if you would recognize, but there is a good chance, and that is of the Zentarum.
All right.
These guys, they've got shaved heads, about a mid-sized beard, both of them, one with an axe, one with a great sword. And they have in front of them, and in between both of them, a small table, wooden table, with some papers.
Right. And so Noah, as soon as he realized that these two were Zentarum, he wouldn't say it out loud, but in his head he'd be like, "Oh, great! Now we got to deal with them." And how did they react to the explosion? The sound of it.
So if you want to know how they react, gotta roll initiative. It's up to you.
I'm not sure if I missed something, but yeah, I would like to know how they reacted.
So in order to kind of see how they react, we would have to kind of continue, and we would need to roll. That everyone would need to roll initiative.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So let's roll initiative.
Rolling initiative. What's my initiative bonus? 20.
Wow. Wow. In descending order, though. Okay. So that will be you first. It's your move.
Rip.
I defer.
All right. So next will be Auburn.
So standing there in the clearing, out in the open, I've got my shield kind of halfway up, and my mace kind of like not really in ready position to swing or anything, but I'm just gonna yell out. Drop your arms and surrender before we send another your way. And see what they do.
All right. Do you want to roll anything when you say that?
I'll roll persuasion.
Sure.
I'd say sexual charisma, but that's just me.
I can roll both.
You should.
17 persuasion and crit fail on the sexual charisma.
Oh. So one of the mercenaries kind of panics. This huge, deafening explosion goes off next to him, and from out of the shrubbery, a large, armored, champion-like figure steps out and demands that they drop their weapons and surrender. One of them completely panics, gets up, and runs. Another one, the one that was next to him, does the same, but kind of in a lag as he figures out what to do. But the other two mercenaries kind of stand up, stand their ground, and go. They're going to have to move toward their weapons. And the mercenary that's furthest away from all of this, like there are two that are standing there, he kind of looks back at the two that begin to run away and says, "Cowards!" They weren't really friends.
I'm just going to prepare my action, so if they come at me, then...
Okay.
I'm gonna swing if they come at me. Prepare an attack
Got it.
action.
Next is moi. So the mercenaries that we were just talking about, the two that were close to out in the clearing, they're gonna run for their weapons. They're about 10 feet away, leaning up against some rocks. That's what they dash to, and as soon as they pick them up, they're gonna kind of come at you, Auburn, but they're gonna keep their distance. It's like they don't want to fight you, but they're way too manly to back down. So there's a good 5-foot distance between you. Like they're kind of pick up their shield, pick up their sword or their axe, and they're kind of just shields up, trying to kind of circle you in a way. But they do not want to engage currently.
Alrighty.
And I said one guy was blown back. He manages to put out the fire on his cloak and runs for his weapon immediately. And the other guy that lost a leg, well, he doesn't make it very far. The 2 Zentarum members look out, and each of them grabs their weapons. What the hell? One of them places his hand on a note that's in front of them, and I will allow you, Noah, to make a perception check to see what is on that piece of paper.
Making a perception check. 12.
Since you were so patient. 12. Okay, so you sure you want to keep that?
I haven't used an inspiration. Why not? I'm feeling it. Yeah, better. 17.
Much better. So instead of just being able to make out a picture with some hair on it, you are able to see that this picture is very familiar to Tristana.
Becoming a sex symbol. Always my dream. Feels good. That was for you, Carthron. Too soon? That's too soon. Okay, I get that now.
Nah, it's okay. The name drop happened. You just don't know that name.
Rip. At least it's not me.
All right. And so Noah, his eyes kind of widen slightly. Like, what the heck? And do they make any kind of? Are they looking like they're getting their things and going, or are they like making?
They look like they are shocked at what's happening, but definitely know that this is a sign that they might get lucky.
Wink.
All right.
Wink.
All right. And so, has my action been used up from doing any of this?
No. So I will say they're able to make it a couple feet because they're not really running. They're kind of trying to observe what's going on, but they move out of this smaller enclosure, closer to the big one, about 15 feet.
All right. Are they side by side, or is one kind of lagging behind the other a little bit?
They are side by side. Brothers, 2 brothers.
Sorry, I just thought of the Rick and Morty thing.
That's why I said it.
Okay. So Noah's eyes narrow, and he kind of gets his game face on, and in an instant he pulls out the 2 short swords, and quick as lightning, runs up to one of the brothers and attempts to stab him in the thigh. So maybe I said one of the brothers, didn't I?
No, it's good.
You're just doing that. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna try and stab him in the thigh, get that artery. All right. Sorry, been a little bit. Okay. The lowest one was 19.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. You good? Don't forget your
All
breath.
right. Oh,
Cough. Cough.
I hit anyway.
Definitely didn't say that.
Oh, shit, really? Oh, shit. All right, lowest one is now 21.
Was
Highest
unnecessary.
one is 25.
All right. I mean, you're good.
All right.
You were good before. I was just kind of, cough, cough.
Yeah, okay. I was like, wow, Zentarum are badass in this setting. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh, as I drop one of my day 6. I'm sorry I'm doing this. All right.
I mean, have you met Dirge? Pretty badass himself.
All right. That would be 27. 27 piercing damage.
Okay. So you stab this short sword into his thigh, and as you do so, it kind of goes in and then cuts outward, so it's not stuck or anything. And one of them kind of, as he looks down, both of them kind of in shock, definitely taken aback. And one of them, kind of brings up his elbow to kind of towards the pain as like a reaction.
All right. And Noah in that one instance, so where they're looking at him like, "Hey, how's it going, guys?" And then I don't know how far away I was from them when I first went up to them, but I would try and use the remaining movement to try and back off.
Okay.
Back off from them. I don't know. Maybe that's like 10 feet I have left or something like that.
All right. Yeah, that's right. You're a swasher, so you're good.
Yeah.
Is it only from the person you attacked?
Yes.
Rings hands evilly. So as you make your little quip at them, "Hey guys, how's it going?" One of them brings out, in one fell swoop, this great axe. Super quickly, whoosh, as it comes down to try and behead you. And that will be 23 to hit.
Definitely is.
Oh, God. So, in your focus on the one that you maimed, I don't think you were expecting this, but you get smashed for 14 points from a great axe from this Zentara member who looks like the dude from God of War, Kratos.
Crap. So yeah, the guy screams. I kind of pull out the sword. I do my little quip, and then before I get out the word before I finish the word guys, I'm just smashed by this thing, and I kind of tumble backwards the 10 feet, kind of restable myself and look at this like have like a huge gash, or is he just hitting me with the flat of the great axe?
So it was 14 points. So I am gonna say it did gash you pretty well,
Right.
but yeah, a majority of it was kind of just like this sheer force damage. And in that moment, I would like to think that Noah kind of has this realization that these aren't just the cultists or anything like this. These guys are kind of like they were up to something. They know what they're doing, kind of thing. They're not just lackeys following orders.
And Noah definitely has that shift in mindset, and he has the shift in mindset. He realizes these guys are serious. These guys are there's enthralling.
Yeah.
And he's kind of been having his way with everyone that he's been attacked so far. But he's dealt with these guys. He's dealt with these guys before, and so he's like, damn it, did I really make that mistake? But I will say, because I almost forgot this happened. Noah did manage, because he just has that quick of a reaction time. He managed to react just in time to avoid maybe getting his shoulder, or maybe getting one of his left arms cut off.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I'm using the what is it? What's it called? The thing that half damages a reaction.
Shoot.
The uncanny dodge.
There you go.
Yeah.
Definitely fits.
So that is my long ass turn concluded.
So now it will be scrolling up. Auburn's turn.
Oh.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Did Tristana go already?
I go after you.
No. It's your turn, Tristana.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yeah, it's your
Yeah.
turn.
So I go last.
Yeah, I go first.
Okay.
I know it's a new thing, me going first, but so do last.
Okay, so Tristana sees this burly mercenary dude take a good chunk out of our beloved Noah. And you see like steam. And she's like, Noah. And so she kind of like from behind her tree, she kind of looks out and she starts to do this little Arabic script thing, kind of like completes the circle, and you see 3 little snake-like fire serpents kind of swirling around. And she kind of, with like a scream of rage at somebody like daring to harm Noah, she sends out these 3 scorching rays towards the guy who just struck Noah.
See, she does care.
She does care. Okay, so the first one does 10. Oh, so I have to roll a hit. Wait, do I? Yeah, I think so, right? Wait, sorry.
Scorching
I'm pretty sure
ray.
I have to roll the hit. Yeah.
I got you.
do. Add that plus.
Yeah. It's a 17 hit.
Yes.
Sweet. What about a 16?
Negative.
Suck.
Cat's out the bag.
18.
Yeah.
Booyah, son. All right. So 2 out of the 3 hit. $11 plus 4, 15. And then. All right. So the 2 snakes that make purchase do 27 points of flame
Good Lord.
searing damage. The other one just kind of hits the tree and like
All right. Where do you hit him?
So I kind of imagine after he kind of like swung down and like kind of got Carthron like that, he was probably like grinning all smug. So it was just kind of like one was like kind of like a slap to the face type of thing, so like hit him right in the face, and the other one just kind of I don't know, just like generally at him. I didn't really have like a plan for like what sizzled around.
Okay.
Do you have an idea as to like I was just gonna hit him,
No, that works.
like face and
That works. Okay, so when that happens, it kind of you notice that it gets both of their attention, and that kind of, I mean, almost in sync, they both look in the direction of the scorching rays, and the one that Noah stabbed in the thigh shouts, "It's her!"
What?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So, is that it? Is that it of your turn?
Yeah. If I was smart, I'd run away, but I'm not smart. She's just kind of sitting there, like angry, like panting, because she's kind of staring daggers right now. She should run away, but she's not smart enough to run away.
Responding to something you said in the chat, Molly, both guys have been hit, not hit twice.
Ah, okay.
Right?
That makes
Yeah.
more sense.
He said he smashed. He sent the
I hit the
scorching
guy who
rays
hit
up-
you, not the guy you hit.
Yeah. So yeah.
It would have made more sense to hit the guy that you hit, but so it was a character moment.
But hey,
Yeah,
emotions.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
It made more sense. It made more sense for you to hit the guy who hurt your friend because you care.
That's right.
I do care.
Okay.
Very deep. Anyway.
All right.
Oh, Aubryn, I'm gonna need you to get that big shield and hey, buddy.
Speaking of the paladin,
Right. So Auburn's attention has kind of gone from the two guys in front of him to Noah making the sound, and then seeing like the preceding actions that happen the next 2 or 3 seconds after he's readied himself. And now that they've called out Tristana, Auburn's gonna kind of nod to the two guys in front of him and then withdraw himself to stand next to Tristana. And I'm gonna prepare another action. So if someone comes up on us to hit him, and then to Tristana, Auburn kind of says under his breath, "Don't run. I got you."
I got you.
And Tristana kind of laughs at like the thought of running. Oh, I'm staying right here.
Good.
All right. Next is me. Okay. So the two mercenaries that were kind of real hesitant to get into it, kind of get impatient as they see you not advance. And the sorceress next to you, I believe you're relatively close to one another.
I think
I
so.
would have been within 5 feet of her if I could.
How many?
Like directly next to her within 5 feet.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the Zentara member shouting out, "It's her," clicks something in these two mercenaries' heads, and they sprint towards Tristana, who was previously behind a tree.
Whoops.
Okay, so they're gonna run up and kind of try their best to position themselves, one in front and one behind. But Aubryn, I believe you will get as you prepared one.
So the first guy that rolls up, runs up on me, will be the one I go for.
All right.
I missed really bad on both. um, 14 is my highest.
So that will not quite make it.
You know,
It's the thought that counts, Aubrey. I
Did
Did
appreciate
you did you roll your bless?
yeah, I rolled bless. I'm gonna inspire. That changes to 16.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey,
Like I said, one it's got a shield and a sword, and the other one has a shield and a hand axe or an
gotcha.
axe.
Now, whichever one comes up first, I do 9 damage to him as I swing my mace at him.
All right, where do you hit him for reference?
In the torso, aiming for like his sides or his arm if he moves his arm to protect himself.
Yeah, so you plant your morning star into his abdomen, and he kind of doubles over, not blocking it with his shield, as the other guy runs behind you to position himself behind Tristana. Very good, very good. And he will swing. Bada, bada, bada.
Is he swinging at Tristana or is he swinging at...
He's swinging at Tristana.
All right. Depending on how well he does might influence my reaction.
That will be an 18 to hit.
Okay, that definitely hits.
Auburn shield says take damage.
But...
Hold on.
What'd you say, Ryan?
Auburn shield at the last second comes up, imposing disadvantage.
Ah!
Booyah, son.
God,
And if that fails,
fighting
then...
style. Yeah. Ah! The second roll was better.
You suck.
I'm
All right.
thwarting you.
Too bad when I'm thwarting you, trying to thwart him.
What kind of
So at the last second, so I kind of see this kind of like Auburn kind of gets like overrun with like, you know, enemies on all sides, and then he kind of sees like Tristana like about to get hit, and like he valiantly tries to throw himself in between, but the guy kind of expects it and still manages to seemingly get an attack off on me. And right as he's about to like slice down Tristana, conjures this shield made of just fire and heat and energy, and as soon as it like hits that, so it gives me a +5 to my AC, making my AC 20.
Okay.
So
That,
his thing was below 20, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so it just kind of, with kind of this fiery explosion, kind of like the blade makes its purchase and gets bounced back.
Oh, it gets blown out of his hand.
Not today.
Not today.
Hopefully no one else attacks me this round, otherwise... Blood doesn't go well with silk. I don't know if you guys know that, but it you know.
Was that the shield spell?
Yes, it was.
All right. Yeah, so blown out of his hand.
And how many people are surrounding me and Auburn right now?
So you have two. You have two right now.
Okay. I was imagining...
That is about to change.
Oh, okay.
Because two brothers.
Mexican Armada.
They look back at you, Noah, and this kind of look of, you're not worth my time. And they take off. So they use their full action and go into this kind of this look of determination on them as they run up on Auburn and Tristana. Neither of them can attack, however.
Oh, thank God. I didn't waste my shield spell. How ironic would that have been, like, blocked like the little measly attack and then just get slammed by a freaking great axe. Oh.
Wesley, shield lasts until the beginning of your next turn.
What's that?
It lasts till the beginning of your next turn.
Sweet.
So you have a
I thought that was only like one attack and it was done.
No. It's till
It's
the
all right.
last.
It was really cool how you flavored it, though.
That is dope. I love that. Okay, there's a shield, just like a shield brother.
Shield.
You have brothers. I have a shield, brother.
Spanish Armada. Had to change it up
Shit.
because of your conquistador in the background.
Yes.
Yes.
Gotta display that heritage, yo. Come from a race. Never mind. Let's move on.
Okay, so yeah, they are up on you, and both of them are in front of you. Pretty much one is in front of Auburn, and one is in front of Tristana. And think of it as like their turn. They don't just stop in front of you. They were charging, but they are able to make it right in front of you. So they're in the process of like running.
Yeah, I got you.
Turn, yeah. And that will be the end.
Right.
It is, I think technically since Noah deferred last round, I had him out of turn, so it's technically Tristana's turn. However y'all want to do that.
Yeah, he deferred, so it's permanently his turn after those guys.
I thought it moved him to the bottom.
Oh no, he deferred until after they moved, so he can layer himself however he wants. So he just layered himself behind them.
All right, Noah.
Yeah.
All right. So you said they gave me a look of like that I'm not worth their time.
Yeah, kind of with like a sneer or like a smirk in your area, in your direction. I mean.
All right. And so this guy, this Zentara member, this will be the one that which one is up on Tristana?
So they're kind of in their same order, and I envisioned you stabbing the one on the left. So the one that was scorched is the one that's on Tristana.
All right. And so this is how I'd like to imagine the scene. This guy makes it up on you, Tristana. There's still this like fiery shield, kind of like between you and this guy. This guy's getting up there, is getting ready to swing, and then out of nowhere, it's like a blur, and something slams into this guy's side. I'm using a bonus action to dash, using cunning action, so that'll be a 70 feet. Can I make it to him?
You tricky son of a gun.
I
He's a
will
quick
not
little
forget the
sucker, isn't he?
Yes. I will not forget the bless this time. All right. So that is a 19.
Yes.
All right. This is a lot of math. 20 damage.
20 damage to the guy that was scorched.
Yes.
And you said that was in his side.
Yes, but depending on whether that killed him or not, it might change.
It does not kill him.
All right. So yeah, I just barrel into this guy's side, skewering him with one of my short swords. And if he looks down at me in shock,
he definitely, well, not in shock. He definitely turns his gaze away from his target.
Yeah, all right. So, it wasn't very nice. He left me all alone. In my turn.
All right. Enjoy your quips. And it will be Tristana's turn.
Okay, so Tristana is going to kind of, so seeing this ugly mofo in front of her, she's going to kind of put her hands down at her sides, and she's going to conjure two less impressive fireballs, but none less deadly.
Honey, everything you do is impressive.
Indeed, 25, so I'm guessing that hits. I rolled 2 19s in a row. I can respect that.
Booyah.
All right. Oh. And I get to add my charisma modifier to my fire spells, which I've totally forgotten to do, but that's okay. All right, 10. 14. All right, so that is firebolt. And so that's a combined total of 22. It's like 14 for one and then 7 for the other, or 8 for the other. And kind of how I see it, it's on the same guy who Carthrun just hit and who I hit earlier.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of smashed these two firebolts together and just kind of like and just flamed him in the face. She really wants to melt his face off. She's super pissed off.
And you do just that because after you do this, imagine Ghost Rider with no flames on his head.
Oh, beautiful.
So, yeah, but just before you cast this spell, and as he looked down at Noah and the dagger in his side, Noah, he had grabbed your wrist at the incision point. And immediately following that, he is roasted. All right. Beautiful.
I like to imagine that a few hairs on Noah is a little bit singed, just enough.
Just a tip.
All right. Anything else in this turn?
I'm still surrounded, correct?
So you have one disarmed opponent behind you, and one that is in front of both you and Auburn, the Zentara member.
All right. I'll stick with my band of... I'm going to stick with my 2 brothers.
Mexican.
And then I'll end my turn there.
All right. Top of the morning, Auburn.
So the way it's laid out, it's like Tristana here and me here, and then the guy's like right here, next to us.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The Zentara member is kind of in the middle of both of you, and the one other mercenary is directly behind Tristana.
The guy that's not disarmed, that has his weapon.
Yeah.
I
The Zentara member.
want to shove him back 5 feet and then put myself between him and Tristana.
Noah, where were you exactly in relation to the Zentara member?
I was basically right. If I see him being right on Tristana, I basically moved staff him directly to the torso, coming in on his right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, so you want to roll for me, Auburn?
Yep. $25.
Oh, God.
Athletics, I rolled a 19.
Yeah. I'm going to try. Come on, Wesley. I'm waiting for your famous saying.
What?
You can try.
Oh, that famous saying.
He definitely.
There are many.
He fails as his brother falls next to him.
Wait, Auburn died?
Yes, Auburn is struck down. No.
That'd be a dramatic twist from the suddenly just
A single tear.
only
So-
one.
Do they get attacks of opportunity for that?
No.
So the way I'm trying to push him is away from Tristana.
Right.
And if Noah's there,
I mean, I'm partial to saying no, but if y'all want to, if y'all have an argument.
Hit. Tension.
I think Tristana should punch him. 'Cause I don't think she has a weapon.
All right, Tristana will be allowed to punch him as an attack.
Don't forget your bullets.
LOL.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm at McGilder status with the physical damage of people.
Don't
So-
heal him.
Don't heal him. Oh my gosh. All right, so the Zentara member gets pushed back 5 feet.
And then I take his place.
Yes, and Auburn steps to his side in front of Tristana, bearing all of his defensive forces.
Like the,
Say again.
everyone wants to get up. I'm good.
Do I? All right. It is my turn. All right. So the disarmed mercenary is. We're going to roll. He backs down. So he kind of backs down, saying, like, enough. He drops his shield and kind of gets on his knees. He doesn't run. He just says, spare me. The Zentara member, as he kind of gets shoved backwards by Auburn, knowing that this he's not going to win. And this was the one that was slashed in the thigh, who is already kind of he's starting to feel the pain of that. So he kind of, in defeat, does he? Well, if I hadn't rolled what I just rolled, so a new bloodlust comes over his face. We're rolling dice tonight, boys.
In the throes of defeat, a new bloodlust rolls over.
I'm sorry, I had to roll.
Good.
It came out too quickly. And
I feel.
he's gonna just go at you. He's gonna go at you, Auburn.
I'm glad.
That he's not hitting you.
Yes. Thanks, Molly, for filling in the blank.
That is a 17.
17 hits.
And second attack
You're the worst one, Ken.
is also a 17.
This is your
Why am I
fault.
the worst?
This is your fault. I have a 17.
Oh my.
If I could shield you, I would, buddy.
So he
Yeah,
has a great sword. Plus. For 11 points.
All right.
As he does kind of a swinging under and then swinging over, trying to cut through you. And it will be Noah's turn. By the way, I literally rolled a 20 to see if he was going to stay or go.
Yeah.
So,
He stay or should he go?
Yeah. All right. And so this guy's basically right next to me, isn't he?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Effectively.
All right. So not having to spend any time moving up on this guy, he can spend all of his time stabbing the shit out of him, which he will do. And he will not forget to add the bless. Do. Math. All right, lowest one was a 23. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, so that would be 23 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
To
Not to the mercenary who has surrendered.
no, to his what?
Oh, to his. Yeah. Let's just say. How about to the? How about to his left arm?
Okay. So I would imagine that you effectively lacerate his left arm off, but he doesn't quite fall. He, as in like die. But this mountain of a man is struggling and kind of falls to a knee, conscious.
Yeah, and I actually kind of see Noah. Noah goes to lacerate his arm, but it doesn't go. It doesn't go through as easily as he thought it would, and he kind of shocked. And then in that moment, to wrench his short sword free, he kind of kicks the guy back,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's when he goes on the knee.
Yeah, that works. Much better.
You're a tough son of a bitch, aren't you?
Audible grunt. Heavy breathing. Blood dripping. And it is Tristana's turn. I believe I have forgotten.
Down though, right?
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That greatsword's not going to do him very much good with one arm. I think I've miscounted a mercenary that was in front of you, Auburn, before this happened.
So is he still alive in front of me?
Uh,
Or
Is he still alive and fighting?
let's just say he surrenders.
Okay,
Along with
I
the
appreciate that.
Smart man.
I don't know. After someone's face literally gets melted off, I think that's a good stopping point. That guy.
Yeah. Okay, so Tristana, you have one who is disarmed behind you, surrendered. One who has surrendered next to Auburn, to your right. And a heavy breathing mountain of a man, Kratos-looking Zentara member.
Mountain of meat.
Yeah.
Got it.
Who is unhappy.
So Gregor Clegane.
So he said before they kind of charged me, like, that's her, right?
He did.
Yeah, okay. And then so she's gonna kind of like go to Carthron, like kind of face her back, make sure what did he mean when he said that's her? Did you find out anything or what that mean? What does he mean?
Yeah. So that mountain of muscle right there, and the guy whose face you just melted off, they're part of Zentarum, and what looks like you got a bounty on your head.
David.
Yes.
Wesley, if you said anything, you kind of cut out. I think.
Hello.
I don't.
Can you hear me
Oh, there
now?
you are. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. So hear that. She's gonna walk over to the mountain of meat, kind of kneeling on the ground. Where'd you get this? Who hired you? Like,
Yeah. The cult. Who else?
Well, I guess that was kind of a dumb question. How much are they paying for me?
A lot.
Well, they are.
If you were to put a monetary value on how much would it be? And I'm sorry if I cut off Wesley, but he's frozen on my screen right now.
Same.
Same.
Oh man.
I want him to be here.
Uh,
I don't know if he can, I don't know if he can see us, but
yeah,
I mean, we can just sell him away. We don't have to deal with him anymore.
true. That's why Noah asked how much is it worth. That's why he asked. That's she might care, but we don't.
She doesn't get a say.
And the complete role reversal.
Okay,
Oh, there he is.
back. Is it better?
Yeah. Yeah, it was better. Now it's better, but it was like if there was a monetary. It was awesome, but it sucked. Yeah, I didn't really catch anything past monetary value.
Yeah. So Noah was like, how much are we talking, basically?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I heard.
Yeah, so how much are we talking? Like in, numbers?
I mean, he's
Just
gonna look
curious.
at you with much disdain.
A lot.
Come on. Dude,
so-
it's a matter of pride. Like, come
So-
on. I'm sure you have a bounty on your head.
No, it's okay. Just know it that it's probably more than that they'd pay for you. Where were you supposed to take me to once you captured me?
They wait. Hold on. There's a rear guard waiting about 5 miles down the trail that they left.
In this rear guard, how many? How big is their force? Hundreds, dozens.
At least a dozen.
Okay. She looks to the two of them, two compadres and companions compared to one as companions. We could probably take a dozen, right? Give or take.
Well, it's a dozen of him. Kind of pushing it. I mean, look at him.
It's not a
I cut
dozen.
off his arm, and he's sitting there, not dead, not dying from blood loss. This guy's a badass. I am definitely saying this in character.
It'd be cultist. The ones that hired him. There's no reason this entire would be meeting him.
Okay, well, missed that. Well, you never know.
Wait, so is he talking about this? Sorry, you guys kind of cut in, cut out, and I'm kind of picking up pieces of conversation. Did you say that the Zentarum was the rear guard, or the dragon cult was the rear guard?
I said it was the cultist that they'd be bringing you to.
Yeah. So you asked like who he was going to bring it to, and he basically tells you that there is a group that this rear guard he mentions.
Yeah. Okay.
That would kind of pick up the product.
Gotcha. And then before that, was there like a specific place that we were going, or we were just kind of like there somewhere in this region? Go and find leads.
I was following a trail.
Yeah. Frick.
Froze again.
Son of a. All right, you're back.
Okay, this is really obnoxious.
Frick.
I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
Okay.
So there was a fairly large trail, probably about 8 or 10 feet wide, is still you're able to see and follow because lots of feet went that way.
And would that take us in the direction that he said the rear guard was, or is that a totally different direction?
So yeah, it's the direction that he said the rear guard is, and it's also the direction that you were told to go.
Okay.
To the southeast, toward Am.
Yeah, so he kind of looks, or she kind of looks to her two compadrians. So what do you guys want to do? Do we leave him? Do we take him with us? Well, what do you want to do?
He
Tie him
is
up?
quickly bleeding out. I mean, pale face at this point.
She kind of looks to the guys. I could stabilize him real fast. It's not going to be pretty. And she kind of like, it's very much Civil War type of patching up an amputee.
Just kill me.
Guys, what do you want to do?
All right. So Noah, after he says it, just kill me. Noah kind of looks at Auburn, and then kind of shrugs.
I'll just kind of give you like this small nod. And if you weren't looking and paying close attention, you almost wouldn't see it. But he doesn't say anything.
All right. So Noah would take one of his short swords. You kind of get near the guy, not like right up to him, but you kind of crouch down on like his kind of crouch down and look at him. You got a name?
So he is definitely on the verge of losing consciousness at this point.
All right, I'll just call you the Mountain then. And then he'd want to make it quick. I mean, he'd basically just stab this guy through the head.
Yeah, so you effectively coup de grace him.
Yeah, instant kill. Yeah. He'd pull it back out, start wiping the blade off the blood. You want to ask this guy is the Mountain.
Auburn would just say, blessings of the Lord to all that have died here.
And when you say that, I think Noah's attention would then turn to the two mercenaries who are kind of, I don't know, are they like on their knees, weapons on the ground? Something like that.
I apologize. Say again.
Noah would turn his attention to the two mercenaries. They just kind of like knees on the ground, hands up, weapons on the ground.
Yeah. So I mean, kind of real trying to. They've given up. They want to spare their lives. They don't want to say anything that's going to jeopardize that.
Yeah. And so Noah would go pick up their weapons and bring them back over here. And so they're basically unarming them. So get the hell out of here.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. As soon as they're given permission, they're gonna get up and run. Yeah.
Just saying, if you go towards Greenest, probably gonna have to kill you.
So they definitely were running in that direction, and you see them like immediately turn in sync to where the other mercenaries ran off to in the distance. One of them having called the other a coward and now is running.
Yep.
You know, earlier.
Can't blame him. I mean, it's us. Yeah. Alright, so that was fun. And it looks like got a bit more treasure there that we can return to Greenus whenever we get back. If I heard correctly.
Right. There are 4 bags of loot because there were 4 cultists, and those loot bags are kind of filled with just trinkets, pewter plates, a couple of cheaper metal ornaments, and things of that assortment. The bags are probably a good 30 or 40 pounds a piece. So they're pretty, you know.
All right. Yeah. Just time to the horses.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me. And feel like I had something else I was gonna say there, but
That's all right. So yeah,
disappeared.
Go ahead. And if y'all want to kind of regroup, go through some stuff. Tell me what's up. There, on the Zentara member that picked up the piece of paper, Noah, there is indeed a bounty notice that was issued directly to the Zentarum with a picture of Tristana on it. There is, however, no reward price explicitly mentioned on the drawing. It is a drawing so that they know who they're looking for.
Yeah. So he would kind of look at that in front. Well, there's still hope. I could be more. And before I ask this, have we talked about who Davin is?
No, we never had a conversation about it.
Yeah. All right. And so probably as we got the loot bags and we're walking back to the horses, so who's this Davin guy I keep hearing about?
So at the mention of his name, Tristana's mind kind of like flashes back to that astral projection of Davin and him saying, "I want you to be the vessel of Tiamat," and she kind of like jumps back to her consciousness. Just an unhappy customer from my past. This a bit. We didn't part on the best of terms. We'll just say that.
Mm-hmm. And so Noah would go, mm-hmm. And he would look. He'd actually look at your face and like try and engage on whether or not he should like keep talking about this or whether he should let it be. Or
you want to poker face this? Let's do it.
All right.
We'll see how it goes from the dice roll. I'll roll a deception. You roll whatever you want to do. A sense motive. I don't know.
Sense motive is a passive thing.
No.
Insight. Not funny.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
14.
All right, I got 25, so I have a +7 deception, so better luck next time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. Is this all right with you? I'm just gonna say like Noah would just kind of look at you, kind of like study your expression a little bit, and he would get the feeling that this isn't really something that he should press, like keep talking about. So
and she kind of like sighs and is like, okay. He's more like a jealous boyfriend.
That's more like it.
She is red herringed you, my friend.
Ah.
You caught me in my lie. Did you?
Joe's boyfriend's willing enough to hire the Zentaran to get you back.
You know, when you fraternize, she kind of says, with specific emphasis on fraternize, with powerful men, you make powerful enemies some of the time. You win some, you lose some. You know how it is. Well, I guess not. And that's why Noah, I will always be worth more than you. Speaking of which, shall we go meet my would-be captors?
That hurts. All
right, you piss off a few nobles and then come back to me. We'll evaluate. We'll reevaluate. But anyway.
You see, that's the thing, though, and then cutscene.
And then like a 20-minute conversation passes on. But that's the thing, though.
Wait, right. Poor rest while they're going back and forth.
Well,
poor Auburn.
Okay. So
yeah.
You picked up the treasure bags, if I'm not mistaken, and are carrying them, correct?
Yeah, we put them on the horses or something like that, right?
Yeah. Okay, good. And yes. So Lenin doesn't ask any questions of what went.
Come back covered in blood and ash.
She asks no questions, and it kind of has this like look on her face. What have I done? Maybe I should have listened to my dad. That kind of expression, and just kind of mounts the horse as you go. So,
Molly, I almost see Noah saying, why are you here? As we kind of all get on the horse.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but I already said that.
Indeed.
Oh, you did?
Last session.
I totally forgot you said that.
And so yeah, as we kind of get on, like he gives Lenin that look. He was like, tried to warn you. Or just like, tried to tell you.
Gets that kind of like, look in her face.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
Use that dagger. You can keep that, by the way.
Yeah, shudder. And yeah. So it gets to be about nightfall, really close to nightfall. And out on the horizon, you see these steppes of AMN, that is a region. You can see that they're named for good reason, because plateaus rising 50, 100 feet off of the ground in the air in the distance start to emerge. And the landscape is real kind of barren and prairie-like. Not a whole lot of trees, not a whole lot of, just kind of mild shrubbery. And the trail kind of leads into this almost pass, like not a mountain pass, but like this pass between that goes up into the plateau, like a large plateau. And it's kind of dotted with boulders and things of that sort.
Hey, Lo. I take a short rest while we're riding.
I don't see why not. I think I said that it was like 2 p.m. last time.
Right.
Something like that, yeah. So yeah, you can.
Away, so.
Does that make sense to y'all?
Yeah.
All right.
I get to roll the D8 I've had out for the past 3 sessions, but haven't used yet.
Me with my D10.
Yeah, it's acceptable, I guess. Could have been better. Screw it, I'll roll again. Alright, there we go.
Wait, well, you didn't take any damage, did you? Oh, you did take damage. I forgot.
Did Tristana take any damage?
No, luckily nobody got to me because you guys are such great defenders of women. So I appreciate that.
And actually, I mean, there was some good chance to rack up some damage, and y'all thwarted it pretty well.
I got hit
Yeah,
twice, I guess.
yeah. You took the blow for me. I appreciate that.
I mean, we were literally fighting like discount versions of the Hound in the Mountain. So
We were not. If we were, we would have been dead. But you know,
I say discounts. It was like 99% off sale.
I'm not going
Don't-
to allow myself to be amused by your references to Game of Thrones because it ripped you from our lives for the last week,
You destroyed the Nightfall dreams.
and I'm not happy about it.
I've not been a part of anybody's lives for multiple weeks, and nobody said a thing. So
This is why we like that you're here.
I mean, we saw you.
At least you're not watching Game
Hey,
of
guys.
Thrones instead of playing
yeah,
with
that's
us.
true. That is true.
Anyway. So, yes, you see this pass that goes, kind of winds up, rising above the ground about, over the course of the path, about 50 feet up to this, the top of this, large. It's almost like the earth all from the horizon up just kind of rises up in this big, large plateau. Tell me how we proceed.
Can you say that again? What do we see?
So, on the horizon, it almost looks like somebody took a chunk of land and just like a flat plateau, raised it up from right to left on the horizon. This massive plateau about 50 feet up. And where this path leads, there is a path up the plateau, kind of at a mild slope that rises about 50 feet. And on either side of it, it's dotted with large boulders and outcropping. I should say outcroppings. And it is about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, so the sun is definitely about halfway on the horizon.
Is this the meeting point that we were told about? Well,
I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah. So what I'd actually say is that Noah he'd be kind of looking around, and then as soon as like this came into view and he made some connections, he kind of holds a hand up to maybe stop. He did mention a rear guard. I wouldn't be surprised if they were hiding out here. It'd be where I would hide out.
How do you want to proceed?
So I could do my thing.
Take them out one by one.
Yeah, see if they are in hiding. Well, I could do that too. If they're definitely those cultists, probably kill them. Kill them off one by one, mayhaps, if I'm feeling it. But I'd like to see if there's a little bit more organization to them, if they are even there. That's the thing, if they are even there.
Are we in like an open plain right now? Or are we
Yes.
on the street between trees?
No, there are, sparse trees, and the trees that are there are thin and not full. Mostly it's just bushes, tumbleweed style, West Texas. But not so
How
hot.
far away are we?
How far away are you?
Yeah.
Imagine that this kind of just appeared on the horizon. Pretty far away.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. And so if that's the case, I think I'd just think we just keep riding for a little bit longer. But at some point, because you said there are a bunch of plateaus, like it's the steppe, right?
I'm gonna just call it. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it that. This is the steppe that leads into the steps of Am. Right. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that.
All right. And so, so I'm thinking, while there might not be any terms of cover like of what I might be used to, since it's the steppe, there's at least height, and kind of like move around that way. You know what I'm saying? Or no?
Who are you
Like
talking
moving
to?
outcropping to outcropping, trying to see if there's sign. Like, you know what I mean?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh.
He's talking to himself mostly.
I wasn't sure if you were like devising a plan or like asking me if you could do something.
He's totally talking to himself.
Yep.
So, I mean, your instinct would be like you would kind of feel vulnerable because there's not a whole lot, and you're riding horses on this trail.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's just a straight wall of rock when you hit the plateau, but you could scale it if that was your goal.
Mm-hmm. It's like
Probably.
well, if the scene in front of me doesn't look feasible, that I could like get some kind of height advantage and go scour or go like scout out the area in front where we think the rear guard might be, then I'm probably just going to stay with the group.
I would say you would find it very difficult to do so because it would require quite a distance for you to go alone.
Mm-hmm.
It would take you some time to traverse the plain, climb, scout, and return.
All right. And because Noah is actually there, and he's much more well versed in these things than I could ever be, these thoughts would kind of go through his head maybe a second or two. It's like, I don't like it.
What don't you like?
Not enough cover, a little too much work. If something does happen, I'd be separated. I think I'm just going to stay with the group. I'd say just be really vigilant. If something happens, we're at least expecting them. And I may not be scouting, but I'll be looking for signs.
Okay.
Sound good to go?
What if we were to, say, set up a camp right here while we're not too far away, but we're not. So that way they're kind of, we got a fire going and everything. They're kind of focusing on the fire. And it gives you time to maneuver your way around. And we'll have the horses ready just in case. And we can
So lay a trap,
we're
or
kind of like
distraction to bring them towards us.
fiery distraction.
Ah,
And Noah kind of
I can do that.
into the darkness. We'll make like a nice little campfire so they can see that and focus on us instead of Noah sneaking around in the darkness towards them. And that gives him all the time he needs to maneuver his way safely.
See, Auburn, this is why we keep you around.
Auburn smiles and nods to you.
He is the son of the sun.
Yeah. Other than being just a towering, you know what I mean.
And the good looking one.
But yeah, that's fantastic. I'll get on that.
Well, let's wait a little bit. Let's wait a little bit longer, and we'll set up a fire and maybe cook something warm. And then once it's real dark, you You're the best cover. Then you can go.
All right, sounds good to me. I'll go see if I can find. Just spend like the next 5 minutes, see if I can find a perch or whatnot, spot that looks good. And cutscene, maybe.
Sure.
Or yeah.
So your plan is to create a fake camp.
Well, it's gonna be like a real camp, but we'll be ready to leave that camp if he needs us. We'll kind of like not really tether the horses down, but we'll have it so that they're ready to ride if we need them.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we were like laying a trap and then like one of. Okay, that works for me too.
I don't think
We can do
they'll
that.
come. I don't think they'll come for us. I think they just might watch us if they're there.
Okay.
I thought our
I
point
think
was to,
everybody
like,
has 3 really good ideas that are different.
I thought we were like making a fire, like making a camp, and then they would come like investigate the camp, and then we would like ambush them. You know, I thought that's what we were doing. What are you saying that we're doing?
I'm not sure that they would come for us to ambush us.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt either. I mean, it's not like we're gonna like, you know what I mean? We could try it. If it doesn't work, then we just follow them again.
You and I can. We'll be ready for that in case it does happen.
Oh, so you're saying like you and me will stay at the camp,
Right.
and then Carthron's like in the weeds, and like will like come out of the shadows, and like you know,
Yeah.
I got that. That makes sense to me, I guess.
Yeah, that's how I was kind of envisioning it.
I thought we were like all like okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Auburn's not sneaking anywhere anytime soon.
magic.
All right. So set up
Good.
camp.
Setting up the camp.
Leanin kind of has her little sleeping bag off-brand. Indeed.
Oh yeah, and before Carthron. Oh no, I'm saying it now.
Yes.
Holy
Yes!
shit!
Mark it.
Shit.
Mark
All
it as a timestamp.
Yeah. The no, before Noah kind of goes off, he'd stop, turn around, look at Leanin. So, anything happens, either run away or Auburn will have you, and then he goes.
Or Auburn will have you.
As in
You know what I meant.
protect.
I'm just saying it's just sound. Sorry, my mistake, obviously.
Damn it, Tristana. We still don't know your last name, right?
I guess not. We don't know your last name.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, it's her last
We don't know Auburn's last name. Auburn's last name doesn't even exist.
I'm sure.
That's how much he doesn't trust in us.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Did the bounty have Tristana's full name?
No.
Yeah, he's got my back, bro.
No, the only mention of Tristana's last name was one, her title on the overlay, and 2, from
I've been found out.
her meeting with a ghost from the past.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so all right, yeah, you set up camp. Y'all can chillax, and Noah, I believe, is gonna do some work, huh?
Uh-huh. Would you like stealth and perception rolls?
So I'm gonna say your intent is to go towards the step, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it's gonna take you almost 2 hours to get there.
All right. And so this is basically the mentality I have.
On foot.
Yeah, this is basically the mentality I have as I'm moving along. If I see a group of cultists or like anything that are that are moving towards the direction of the fire, like the smoke trail, then I will basically double back.
Okay.
That's my mentality.
You got it. If you want to roll a stealth that's going to characterize your entire trip, that's fine too.
Fine with me. 22.
Okay, yeah, you are moving, flying low. So you get about an hour and a half into your trip. You get fairly close to the step, and a band, sure enough, some dots in the distance appear as they make their way down the path. One riding a black horse, and a couple other figures following in tow. They're not going fast, kind of horses at a trot, and they're kind of members marching behind this horse. All of these members, I might add, they're wearing black, but it's not just the robes that you were used to. They also on their as like a shoulder on their shoulders is like decorative, almost dragon imitation leather that flares out into points. Does that kind of make sense? Like flares out into a point from their shoulders,
Yes.
kind
Yeah,
of stiff. Yeah.
Going Fire Nation.
kind of like the Chinese. Yeah,
Yeah,
A
yeah,
little.
kind of like that. Yeah. And yeah, they wear lots of black.
And then the Fire Nation attacked.
And you said that those are the people that are just riding behind this guy in front, or are they just all like the same people in this line?
So the one that's on the horse,
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's only one on a horse. Sorry.
you're right. And there are at least 5 or so that are marching alongside the horse, following it. And all of them are dressed similarly.
All right. All right. And so Noah, I'm seeing this. I'm legit just take a look at him, and then I don't know, maybe like the like if this is a scene in a movie, like maybe you just see him, and then he'd like hop down off a rock and disappear from view, and start making his way back. I think he would look back periodically to see if they're still like on their way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if it definitely looks like they're dead set on traveling towards a smoke signal, that's when Noah would try and get a little bit further ahead because he's fast AF.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, there's a straight line between the camp that y'all set up, the fire in the distance, and the path that leads up the step, and that is the path that they are on.
All right. All right. And so Noah, from y'all's perspective, I guess this has been about 3 hours. Maybe.
Yeah. So it took you about an hour and a half before you found anyone.
Yeah.
And as you travel back, yeah, it's probably been close to that.
Yeah. I would probably want to try and get back with a good maybe like 10, 15 minutes buffer.
Yeah.
Buffer time.
You're able to do so. They're moving at a kind of a marching pace.
Yeah. Kind of like in the camp, whatever y'all have prepared down there. Noah would kind of like reappear. So, all right, they're on their way. Good job, Auburn. Got about 10, 15 minutes till they arrive here. There were 6 of them, correct?
Yeah, about a half dozen, yeah.
Yeah. 5 on foot, 1 on the horse.
Is the horse
All right.
leading them? Or is he behind?
What, Ryan?
What's their formation? Is the guy on the horse leading, or is he behind them?
Yeah. The horse guy's leading. The other guys are on foot, marching pace. Should be about 10, 15 minutes till they arrive. And check out the camp. I didn't see anyone else that might be following them. Let's say we get ready.
Can you hide so that they walk past you?
I said let's get ready.
I think he's trying to make sure that y'all know like what the plan is for when they get there.
Yeah. All in that context, and also in the context of getting ready is me hiding. Also, in that context. So this is like a straightaway path. You said right.
Yeah.
Could he like climb up a tree or something? Maybe, I don't know.
There are some sparse rocks and such dotting the land, but no trees around that would provide any sort of cover.
Yeah.
Does Lenin say anything
About
what to do, or
Where do you think Carthron should hide? I mean, Noah should hide, Lena.
about what she's going to do?
well, you're the experts, are you not?
We are not.
It is your life, though.
Yeah.
Well, if it were up to me, I would suggest that we kind of take the opportunity to dupe them, leave them here at the camp, and make it through the pass. But I don't know if it's my place to suggest something that I mean, it could still be a trap there.
No, that's some good insight, Lean, and I wasn't really expecting it. No offense.
Well, that's sexist.
I feel I should be insulted.
That's what I'm saying.
You shouldn't. It's just lack of experience in the field and all. Possibly the thing about duping them is one these guys could just come back at any point in time. There are 6 of them. We should be able to handle them. We have the jump on them.
The Zentarnum guy did say there are at least a dozen waiting here.
Yeah, and half of their forces.
So that means the rest of them are up there still.
Yeah.
What if they don't return? Won't that raise suspicion?
I mean, aren't we just going after we take care of these guys? We're going back to the main camp to take care of those guys.
Yeah.
So
take her on the same amount of time for us to get over there.
Well, that's for y'all, and I'll hang back,
You're leading the charge. What are you?
Really,
There's a nice sparse rock over there. It should. You're small, right?
I would probably be much more comfortable there.
Okay. We want you to stand and fight.
Oh, Lena, we'll make a fighter out of you.
Isn't it?
Cue Mulan music.
Yep.
Hua!
Cue DBZ abridged Mulan music.
So I had to make it
All right, so set up.
Setting up.
It means that me and Auburn are just kind of chilling there, waiting for him, and then so it's all up to you, young Noah, as to what you're gonna do.
And so from here on out, I only have like if I had a 15-minute buffer zone, so I'm probably only like a 5 to 10 now.
And think about that in terms of distance and the flat terrain. How far are they if they only have 5 to 10 minutes to get to you? What can they see?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you go ahead. I just want to make sure that you're finalized.
I am going to stand in the open because I took hide in plain sight. I have all the prereqs.
Oh.
And actually, no, Hellcat stealth. Sorry, I have that.
Throwback.
Throwback to ridiculous.
Couldn't wait. One level into it.
Damn it. Yeah.
Okay. I know I've built up suspense, but we have not much time, and I don't want to run out. I've got lots to work with. I'm really proud of this session. I know it's still short, and I know a lot of these are turning on camera. I know a lot of these are a little bit shorter, but it's less taxing on us, and it really gives me a lot to work with. I appreciate everything today. I had a lot of fun. I hope y'all did too. But we're gonna call the 5th session there, and hopefully we will get back shortly with everyone. So this has been the Masters of Dungeons signing out.
Tagline: Indeed.